What's up, guys? PowerManiac720 here, and I have part 5 of my Pseudo-Legendary Analysis. In today's Hydreigon, I'm going to try and make this one a lot shorter, so hopefully it goes faster. So, right off the bat, looking at Hydreigon's base stats, you have 92, 105, 90, 125, 90, and 98. So looking at this right away, very balanced defense stats, probably the most balanced overall Pseudo-Legendary we've seen so far. No really weak points, special attack is definitely its strong point. 125 hits like a truck, especially if you give it Life Orb or Choice Specs. One of the hardest hitting moves in the game is a Draco Meteor. Choice Specs modest 252 from Hydreigon. Also 92, 90, 98 for defenses are very respectable. Not a Pokemon that's going to be taken out by very many neutral hits, pretty bulky. The tough part for Hydreigon, and the reason that a lot of people opt to use Salamence, is that awkward speed tier at 98 hits it just below the base 100s, which is where so many threats lie. So even if you ran Timid 98 or Timid 252 speed, you're still not going to outspeed some of those bigger threats such as Mega Charizard Y, Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan's the big one. Of course, Garchomp at base 102. So moving on, some facts about Hydreigon. It's a Dragon Dark type. Its ability is Levitate. It does not have a hidden ability. It does not 4-time resist anything. It 2-times resists Fire, Water, Electric, Ghost, Dark, and Grass. It's neutral to normal, poison, flying, rock, steel, and ground. 2-times weak to dragon, ice, fighting, and bug. 4-times weak to fairy, and immune to psychic. So I have an asterisk next to ground under neutral and immunity because if you had gravity on the field or smackdown was used, then ground would be a neutral type, but also have it under immunity because levitate negates ground completely. So that's why a lot of people would like to lead Double Dragon with Hydreigon and Garchomp, because you can just freely spam Earthquake without hurting your Hydreigon. So of course the common Hydreigon set is a special Hydreigon. As I mentioned, it's got base 125 special attack, which is pretty deadly. Its typing gives it great stab coverage with Dark Pulse and Dark Pulse, and Draco Meteor or Dragon Pulse. So basically the Dragon Dark typing gives it great coverage, lets it hit Psychic, lets it hit Ghost. Lets it hit a lot of things neutral. I mean, Dark is only resisted by Dark, Fairy, Fighting. I think that's it. Dragon's only resisted by Steel and Immune, and Fairy has immunity. So it's really got great coverage. Also, it's got a great move pool of special moves, which are Draco Meteor, Dragon Pulse, Fire Blast, Flamethrower, Dark Pulse, Flash Cannon, Earth Power, Hyper Beam, Hyper Voice, Tri Attack, Focus Blast, and Surf. So the most common attacks are definitely Draco Meteor, Dragon Pulse, Fire Blast, Flamethrower, Dark Pulse. A combination of those. Some people use Flash Cannon for Fairy, some people use Earth Power just as a different attack to hit things like Mawile. Even though Flamethrower does the same, some people just opt for Earth Power because it hits different things that their team might need to hit. I included Hyper Voice and Tri-Attack because I personally think that Hydreigon's going to get a Mega soon. Maybe not in Oris, but in a future game. And I think it's going to get some sort of attack that churns either Dragon, or I think it's going to get something called like Dracate. I don't know what you'd call it, but it's basically going to work like Aerialate for Dragons, and so then Hyper Voice or Tri-Attack are going to become huge. I also included Hyper Beam because that's what Animate ran on his World's Hydreigon in order to deal with Azumarill a little better. So moving on to another potential Hydreigon you could run is Physical Hydreigon. So it is an option, albeit rare, for Hydreigon to go physical. However, its attack set is 105, which isn't bad, and people do use special, they'll use Timid Special Salamence at 110, so I mean, an Adamant Hydreigon definitely hits harder than a Timid Salamence in terms of just raw power. So its physical moves include Dragon Rush, Outrage, Crunch, Assurance, Body Slam, Rock Tomb, Stone Edge, Rock Slide, Payback, Acrobatic, Steel Wing, Earthquake, all the Elemental Fangs, Fire, Ice, and Thunder Fang, and Head Smash. So I think the way to go if you wanted to do this would probably be to Choice Band it. Then it hit pretty hard, and it's something that no one would ever expect because I honestly have actually never seen a physical Hydreigon. So I think it'd be pretty cool if you ran it with like, Dragon Rush, Cruncher Assurance, maybe Head Smash, and maybe Rock Slide or something. I don't know. But So, and then looking at SweeperCalc's website, the top 5 most popular items are Choice Specs by far with like 66%, then Scarf, Life Orb, Havenberry, and Assault Vest. Specs, of course, makes it hit ridiculously hard. Scarf is so that it's a nice hard hitter that can outspeed most of the metagame with the right amount of attack, speed invested. Life Orb is for someone who wants to hit hard, kind of like a little lesser Specs if you want to run Protect, or just want the option to switch up moves, because of course being locked into a Draco Meteor with a fairy on the field is not the best thing. Havenberry, a lot of people use because you can EV to survive an opposing Draco. I believe Dwee, or Hui, someone, I don't remember who now, had a Hydreigon that, with a Havenberry, survived a Specs 252 Modest Hydreigon's Draco Meteor and then KO'd back with Draco Meteor. And Assault Vest just for some special bulk. Maybe you can, I don't know what specifically you can survive, but I'm sure you can survive some Dragon Pulses. Maybe an Aura Sphere from something, Ice Beam, stuff like that. Not many Ice Beams do one-hit KO Hydreigon though, just because it's, like I said, it's pretty respectably bulky. So that's my analysis on Hydreigon. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned, because everyone's favorite dragon, Gudra, is next.